Well, if we're going to be in San Francisco for the Super Bowl, it makes sense to talk to a guy who became a Hall of Fame linebacker with the San Francisco 49ers, Patrick Willis, joining me right now. Patrick, great to see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
I saw you jump up onto the stage, and you said that took a little out of me. Been a while, huh?
It has. It has. It's like these days, man. Any little thing any little thing that takes some effort in and whatnot, I have to think about it a little bit.
You played one of the most demanding positions in all of football between running back and linebacker, in my view. Constant collisions, high impact. How do you feel now? It's been, you played through 2014. How are you feeling now, more than a decade removed, just physically, after all the wear and tear from all your years of football?
Yeah. I mean, as we all know, football can be a brutal sport and can be tough on the body. But I'll say that, over the last 10 years, I really spent it just trying to get my body back to where it just felt comfortable. Felt comfortable to be able to move around, and it wasn't aching as much as it was. But I feel pretty good today. I'm not going to complain too much. Aches and bruises here and there, but you just have to doctor them up and keep moving.
It's amazing. You were a 5-time first-team All-Pro, and when you retired, it really did surprise everyone because the thinking was this guy's still got plenty of gas left in the tank. How hard was it for you to walk away from the game when you did?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough because, the game of football is a sport that I've loved since I was a kid. But at the same time, I remember telling myself as a rookie, I said I would be honest with myself for when that time came that I would step away from the game and allow someone else to take care of their family. And I can't believe 8 years came as fast as it did. I remember being a rookie sitting in my chair hearing Coach Minuski, our defensive coordinator, talk about how fast the years will go by. And at that point in time, I feel like, man, just 14-hour days were long, but before you know it, I was on year 8, and body was just saying, it's time.
I guess the better question is, how much time did it take for you to get to the point where you didn't miss it? Or was it immediate, like, I'm done, this is good, no more of this, I'm moving on with my life?
Truthfully, I'll say it's taken a while, and I really can't say that you just necessarily over it. I will say that probably like most things, when it's over, you call yourself just, walking away from it and trying to figure out the next phase. And I did that for a little while, but what I realized was football is my umbilical cord to life, and it's not everything, but it's a great umbilical cord to life. And
so what has replaced that since 2014?
Yes, so now I'm just doing a little bit of philanthropy, just being a humanitarian. Just as the last couple years, I am now an ambassador and working football operations with the 49ers, and so that's been pretty good.
Isn't that the hardest part, though, for players who have spent so many years of their lives playing football? It becomes part of your identity. It's who you are. It's how you view yourself. It's how others view you, and then it's gone. I feel like a lot of guys struggle to find whatever comes next. You have, but I feel like a lot of guys, it just takes a while to land in that spot where you have something where you can pivot so much of your own identity from what is now gone into something new.
Yeah, I mean, man, football is, I'll be lying if I said that it has been absolutely easy. It has been an absolute journey to just get to this point. I think often as I reflect of how grateful I am to be where I am today, because there was some times in there was some periods in there where I was like, my goodness, like, how do I navigate this? What do I go from here? Like, how do I create this new identity, which is what I mentioned earlier, just taking a training after I retired, just stepping away from the game and just trying to go out and go figure it all out. But it's been a grind. I say, and I say this to players now, we all going to go through that transitional phase, and I call it a dark night of the soul, meaning that you find out so much because you don't have that one thing that you've always been able to rely on, that you've always been able to pretty much just, bury yourself in, and it's a different world.
Yeah, Chris Sims has said in the past to me that first year that he had stopped, he cried every Sunday.
Yeah.
And didn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, missed it so much, because the reality is, no matter how big of a star someone is, the train keeps rolling. Whether you get injured during the season, keeps going.
Yes.
You retire, it keeps going.
Yes.
And that's what's amazing about it, but it also makes it hard, I think, for the individual players because it's easy to feel forgotten because that train just keeps rolling.
What's that? It's an old song that I oftentimes hear myself singing, and I remember when I was a kid hearing it, but it's dust in the wind.
Yeah, Kansas. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. All we are is dust in the wind.
Yes.
Well done.
And that's how I really feel about the game, and that's no discredit to the fans who loved you while you were playing, but you really realize that when you no longer have that shield, when you no longer have that nameplate on the back, it's a different world. It's a different
Hall
world.
of Fame player, 5-time first-team All-Pro. Got into the Hall of Fame with only 8 years, which is just amazing. It's a testament to how well you played that you only needed 8 years to get in because, it's not easy to get in without a decade or more in the NFL. What's one thing that you either wish you'd done differently? I mean, obviously you didn't get a Super Bowl win. You were on that team that almost got it to cap the 2012 season. But what's one thing you would go back and do differently if you had the chance to do it again?
Man, that's a great question. I try to live my life with no regrets. But I would say, there are some personal things in there that, I would have loved to have, won a Defensive Player of the Year. I would have loved to have won, a Super Bowl. Even now, when you hear guys, when you're at functions, alumni functions, alumni weekends, you hear them say Super Bowl champion and Hall of Famer, or Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champion, and just a part of me, man, just melts for a moment because you realize how significant, yes, how amazing the Hall of Fame is. It's the football heaven, but man, to have won a Super Bowl just would sound absolutely amazing. But I'm not going to complain because I do have some friends, some players who played that, they didn't have a chance to even make it to the playoffs. And so I was very fortunate to make it to the playoffs, to get to play in a Super Bowl, Super Bowl 47, and we just came up short.
I never thought about this before until right now, and I've been doing this 25 years. Does it drive you crazy, and don't name names, and I won't name names, but does it drive you crazy when you meet a guy, and I'm going to use the industry term slapdick, who has a Super Bowl ring that just happened to be right place, right time, right team, didn't do shit, excuse me, to earn it, and he's got a Super Bowl ring and I don't. Does it drive you crazy?
I won't say that it drives me crazy. I would just say that, I'm always happy for the next person's success, and I would say they just happen to be in the right spot at the right time, but it just makes me laugh because I just heard my big brother, Takeo, on his podcast speaking about that some guys will be like, hey, I got 2 rings, but he said, well, did you really get a ring? Did you really play? But, I say all that to say, if you're a part of the team and part of helping them, be successful in any way, I get that's a reward. So
it's just part of the beautiful drama that is football. There's only so much one guy can do when it's 11 on 11 and you've got offense and defense and there's 30 backups. There's only so much you can do to deliver it, and everything does have to go your way. And one thing we've seen, especially in these playoffs, it comes down to a play here, a play there, and maybe a gust of wind, or the snow starts when no one expected it. And that's what's got to be frustrating about it when the game ends. Did you find yourself doing that? You said you don't like to live in regret, and I don't either, so that's good. But like when a game ends, it didn't go your way, like the Super Bowl, for example, do you find yourself thinking, man, that's one moment where if that goes our way, we win. Here's another one. Do you find yourself doing that?
Oh, absolutely. I find myself doing that in just everyday life, or after every performance, even after this, after this interview, I'll walk away.
You're doing great. You got nothing to regret. I do. You don't.
No, I'll walk away thinking about the spots that I could have been better in. And when I think about that Super Bowl, I do think about a couple of plays that, man, had I been able to just deflect this ball or pick this ball, it would have helped make a difference in this game. So,
did it really help the 49ers when Roger Goodell kicked the plug out of the wall and the lights went off for 20 minutes?
Oh man, you know what? I don't. That was a crazy moment, and I'll just say thank you to the football guys because it gave us a chance to kind of recruit. Because when they say if you've been there before, it makes a difference. It really does. I will say that's one thing that if I would have had the chance to go back to the Super Bowl again, I know that I would have been. We would have been a lot more calmer because I still don't know if I can still feel my feet from that week of the Super Bowl, and that was Super Bowl 47. So it's a lot that goes into that week.
How closely do you follow today's game?
I follow it okay. I'm not gonna say I ravish in it, but I do follow it. Okay.
Who you thinking? You got a lean, an inclination one way or the other between the Patriots and the Seahawks?
I'm gonna say Seahawks just because they're in our division. They're in the 49ers division. They're in the NFC West, and it would look good for our division. I remember there was a time when I first got into the league, the NFC West was laughed upon, and to see us now having the success we've had in the NFC West, it will go big for our division, and so I would have to root for the Seahawks, even though it sounds really strange to do so.
It's amazing where some stories come from and how crazy some stories are. And I don't know whether there's anything to it, but this whole thing with the practice facility being next to an electrical substation and somehow causing injuries, it's been there since 1988. Was that anything that was discussed when you were playing for the 49ers from 2007 to 2014?
No, I didn't. I never heard anything about it. Obviously, you could see it over there, and me just being a Marvel character, superhero character loving guy, to me, I thought when I saw it over there, I thought it was a chance to draw some energy from it. in my mind, I'm thinking if I can just get some of that electrical charge.
Were you thinking about going over there and grab the right spot and you transform into?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, not that you needed any more than what you had, but man, next level would have been like Electro Man.
Yeah, like the guy on Spider-Man. I remember it was one of those seasons, one of those movies or whatnot. Reminds me of that. But yeah, that's how I always thought about it.
All right, you're here today on behalf of the Go Bowling Super Bowl Bowling Classic. Tell us more.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here as an ambassador to Go Bowling. Bowling is one of those sports that, and it's amazing. It doesn't take a lot out of you. It's fun for all ages, and it's a great game. I've been playing since I played a little bit when I was in college, but I really got into it when I got to the NFL my rookie year because we was in training, that spring training, and in order to play with the guys, you could play, but in order to get your own ball, you had to roll a 200 plus before you could go get your own ball. And so I never forget the day that I had a miraculous comeback with strikes at the end to go. I think my best game ever has been around the 260, 280, maybe something like that.
Wow.
So, but I think I got lucky. I'm gonna say that, but it was luck. Though. It was like that last strike where you just keep throwing strikes and strikes.
And you have to not think about it. That's the key.
Yeah,
you just get in the zone and you don't think about it. And
Absolutely.
I haven't come close to 200. There was a time where I discovered bowling, and I was going with my brother-in-law and my nephew, and my wife came one night. Now, her version is she kicked my ass and I refused to ever bowl again. My version is I lost interest. The truth may be somewhere in the middle, but bowling is a lot of fun, and you're making me want to go back and bowl. So there's an event coming up when?
Yes. So the event is tomorrow at Lucky Strikes. It's going down. It's going to be myself, Tom Rathman, Doug Peterson, Sean Alexander, and really the setup is just going to be attendees who are there are going to be paired up with some of the NFL alumni guys, and we're just going to go at it. We're going to play some games, and hopefully I don't look too bad. I'm going to try to go over a 200, but we're going to see.
Go for your personal best. Go for 300. Didn't Jerome Bettis throw 300? Haven't I heard that somewhere? Did Jerome Bettis throw 300? We need to check on that.
You know what? We might have to check it out.
We have to check that out.
Some of these guys, you have to be careful, but...
I mean, it's only 13 strikes, right? I've told myself that. It's only 13 strikes. You just have to throw them all in a row at the same time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, this guy threw plenty of strikes on the football field, and he is in the Hall of Fame. Patrick Willis, thanks so much for summertime and all the best.
And I do have to leave with this and say, man, at Go Bowling, we want everybody to have a free game of bowling, so make sure you go to gobowling.com, sign up, and get your free game.
I'll do that.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Patrick Willis, we'll be back with plenty more.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.